All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the first ever episode of the Super GNG podcast. Technically it's a Let's Play, but I'm just kind of defining it as a podcast. That's kind of how I want to do this. This is Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Nintendo. It's one of the most difficult games ever made, and one that I have put far too many hours into getting good at, or decent at for some reason. And I've always wanted to train myself to be able to beat this game in one solid sitting. And that is the goal of today's show. So, what we're going to do with that, we're going to do a quick audio test here real quick, and then after that we're going to get started. So, what we're going to do with that, we're going to do a quick audio test here real quick, and then after that we're going to get started. Alright, we're all set. So, what I want to do with this is going to be a series where each week we're going to I'm going to talk a little bit about the levels we're currently fighting. And, but in general, though, it's going to be more about me just talking about stuff that's going on with me, going on with our shows and stuff. Just a very casual, one-person podcast vlog kind of thing. And I hope that's interesting to people. Also, it gets me in the habit of streaming live to YouTube more often. I stream live on Twitch quite a bit. You can find the description down below. But this is going to be like my special YouTube series. And so we're going to go for... We're just probably going to do a short one today, probably be first level, maybe the second. The topic I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I came into recently studying for the reboot of Saturday Morning Fever. I've been trying to get this show off the ground for like so long, but I like the idea. You can find some more episodes of it on the channel below, where in general, the idea is to have a review from the show for Saturday morning cartoons. But the most recent episode we went over is a relatively unknown show called Y2K. And what that show made me realize a specific trend among certain shows. I think in particular in the late 90s, early 2000s, areas of like Ghost in the Shell or The Matrix. Mostly The Matrix. I think is the biggest proponent of it, but it's a subgenre I've come to call Y2K fantasy, and it's basically how I define it is it's the media that was made in the era where, due to like fledgling technology, like everyone kind of treated like the idea of the internet as if it was some sort of like strange magical world. I had some of that in the 80s as well, but in general, like the idea of people making media where there was enough of an internet for it to be a thing that existed, but not enough for people to actually like understand what it is, so everyone just assumed that the internet was magic, and we got a lot of really cool stuff out of that, and I really like a lot of the media that gets created from that. Oh shit, we got hit. We're fine. We got lucky. We got really lucky. Anyway, but Y2K kind of falls in that category too, where it's a very early version of the whole, like, like live in the video game sort of thing, like Dot Hack or Sword Art Online or that kind of thing, which makes me sad a little bit that, like, when TFS did their joke of, like, Digidestins or anything remotely like it, that they didn't list code Y2K. That's a story for another day. Anyway, but for those guys that haven't seen the show before, you'll see it on my channel hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Because I'm going to be stockpiling them a little bit, but, following the premise of there being a virtual world and a video game world, a real world and a virtual world that they kind of function in. The cool thing with that one is the fact that they chose to... Oh, jeez, it's going to be dangerous. Not the weapon to have at this juncture. It actually makes this way more difficult. Anywho, but you know, I always liked that idea. That's far from the only example of something that's taking that kind of approach. I mean, it wasn't a very good movie, but I recently saw a movie called Brain Scan that came out. Oh, jeez. All right, so we have one loss. One loss. We'll take a tally. See how many it takes me to beat this. But for the sake of this show, we're not using any save states or anything like that. Game overs are okay, but still on the requirement that we beat every single level completely legitimately. That's the goal of this thing. So, but Brain Scan was a movie I recently watched where it took the idea where there's a guy that was obsessed with like horror video games and stuff like that, or horror movies, and this game that's like it's scarier than real life, and it's like part of like some weird demon who's a part of Brain Scan or whatever, who's trying to get him to kill real people. It's not a good movie by any means, but a very enjoyable one for a, you know, for a fun bench night kind of watch. But I've always liked that genre in general, the idea of looking at these series that, you know, even Digimon the first movie kind of did that too, where, you know, the idea of, or even just the idea of the digital world in general is kind of like, you know, the fantasy version of the internet is kind of how it's portrayed, and I've always really been fascinated with that. I do not like the sickle, but it's better than what I got. The idea is the bow and arrow you want. Yeah, but yeah, like Digimon in general is built off that premise. You know, even through its roots. And I mean, obviously you don't get much of that stuff made anymore because we're in an area where people understand what the internet is, and it's not, you know, made in a genuine fashion as it would be back then, but at the same point I've always found that idea of that style of movie fascinating. The same way that they're, you know, same way looking at any sort of movie, you're like, oh look, that's so dated, but, you know, often refer to dated as far as like stuff does it hold up or not, but like at the same point I do find it fascinating to look at media that was built, you know, culturally at a different time as far as technology is concerned. And I think the advent of the internet, it definitely becomes the same way that like cell phones were for a lot of movies, that like just the advent of it being a thing that exists is something that significantly affected the media that we have and how we created whatever. There's a suit of armor back there? I never knew that. And with that, we are at the beginning of level 2. We're going to maybe try to beat level 2 today. Especially if we can get the streak of having armor on us without losing it, then we'll be in good shape. 2 levels in the first episode. I wouldn't mind that for the show. That'd be nice. Because Digimon the animated series is the other one I've actually been paying a lot of attention to. That's kind of a cool ability. Oh, this area is not fun. Ah, all that armor. It's all wasted. What a shame. What a shame. And now I gotta beat the boss without it, which won't be fun. I hope that idea of the Y2K fantasy thing kind of makes sense to you guys. I mean, I think that, it actually did generate a lot of the sci-fi that we know today. It influenced a lot of stuff from that era. I mean, it even continued a decent bit into when we did understand, internet and culture and stuff like that. I mean, even now with the whole genre of, life inside the virtual world kind of thing, it's not built on that ignorance of the understanding of the internet, but to an extent it's built off of, fascination with it. And that has its ups and downs as well. But I just find it interesting to see how, cultural touchstones or how, something being made at the right place at the right time or stuff like that influences what kind of media we make. Oh, damn. Get a lot of suits of armor. It's usually not a thing that happens. That was the dumbest thing I think I've ever done. Well, we got a little bit more time. I did have a bunch of... that was like the main thing I wanted to talk about today. In general, outside of that, as of last night, I beat the Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke run. You can see the VODs of that over on my Twitch channel. And some of it, I think the Elite Four is going to get uploaded to YouTube because I was really happy with finally being able to beat that. This is my third attempt at Nuzlocke run. And I'm just in general really happy with how it turned out. Oh, thank God. Bow and arrow, best weapon in the game. Well, at least I get the bow and arrow. Like, not even a contest, it's best in the game. I don't know if this is an emulator or something, but the sound in general is different than I remember. It might just be the sound chip it's using. Now, if I get to the end, which I should be able to do, the final boss of this is super easy with the bow and arrow. And that'll be a good place to call it, so I haven't gotten to the part of this game that's considered, like, the hard part, as you imagine. Because this is, like, no, but not this part so far. Although it is really difficult, it took me a long time to train myself to be good enough at this part to actually be able to fight it. But eventually you find your exploits, you find your ways around things. Especially when you figure out that you can attack him from outside of his range, and you got a pretty good shot at fighting him. So, as we move on today, I want to know from you guys, what do you think of the idea of the Y2K fantasy genre? Or what are your favorite shows that kind of exist in that sort of category of media? I'd really like to know. Leave your comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time on the Super Ghouls and Ghosts podcast.